Hello, followers of Unicom Creed English language programs. We are happy to be with us in the world of existence, humanity, and thought. For today's program, we wish you to enjoy happy moments, rich in knowledge and new additions that meet your hopes and your wishes and your intellectual aspirations. Let us go there. Welcome followers of Unicom Creed, the English language section program, into the today's lecture, within series of lectures of Convoy number 1, the definitions about the Unicom Creed. Under the title, Live Gate, or LG. Live Gate is anthropomorphic Unicom Creed logo. LifeGate is the name given to the symbolism of anthropomorphic, which constitutes the tenor, foundations, and bases of concepts of Unicom Creed and the main tools used in its creation. And applications, which are 5 elements. G letter in English, torch, book, pen, and telescope. Each one of these 5 elements embodies certain concepts related to its historical function that is uses for place it in context of building and running requirements of world of humanity. And so when you look at this model in front of you with an analytical depth, you feel sense of completing all tools of research requirements and planning from in order to build life. You have to start meditating and working from there. The details of this anthropomorphic are as follows. 1. G. You find the element of letter G in English, which appears in 16 red knots or like blood cells that circulate inside the vein. They are like nodes found in genetic mutations in genetics and DNA chromosomes. This is merely an analogy in that these nodes, 15 of them which forms the letter C in the English language. The first letter of word, convoy, and the letter G is completed by adding the 16th knot, which is the flame at the top of the model. The letter G in the Unicom's Creed anthropomorphic is embodied the word generation. In English, either the explanation and elaboration of what the 16 knots in the letter G or the generation letter in the Unicom Creed have a separate lecture dedicated to it. However, the letter G is complete in its contents according to the concepts of Unicom Creed embodies phases of growth and years of life of any human being emerging from the moment of birth a child into reach stage of transition towards individual responsibility, towards his person, and towards the society, where role of torch that burns to lighting for the others other than the self-ego, instead of he was under care. Becomes a carer by skipping this stage at the point of overlap formed by the torch knot. 2. The torch element at the top of Unicom Creed anthropomorphic is the 16th note in the letter G of generation, which embodies stage of person's transformation into a giver where the torch burns to illuminate way of others, as the other people, they were burned before him, and illuminated his way. Then he progressed during his prime of childhood, which brought him to where he is now, and that these are normal stages in life of every human being. However, combustion and lighting here means attempts to achieve, whether it is an educational or material achievement or any efforts that played in any of the areas of life. In any case, as a person you are required in this stage because you have already taken and did not provide anything yet. And you must strive to give or to prepare yourself to the extent that it is appropriate to provide what can be provided to the human community. Whether your local community and your environment are closest relatives to you or in a broader and comprehensive human way, and this depends on your personality and ability. Whether it is natural or your acquired skills, whether it is hereditary or preparatory educational, it is important to look at the candle or the torch in the Unicom anthropomorphic. To let you remember by to take care of your natural role and consider yourself and your outcome while you are over the age of 15 and step towards the 16th and progress to the next. 3. The third element in the Unicom Creed anthropomorphic is the pen, which lies beneath the torch. When the flame or the candle is burning, it is not in vain, but rather, it shines the light along the way, where it is walking on, and this torch is precisely you. Hoping yourself in its place and don't forget that this same road has been illuminated for you, then you walked on it, and you reached where you are. And now you have to play the same role for those who will walk after you to walk as the same way. Do not let them walk in the dark, otherwise you have to wonder, why didn't leave you? Those whose were before you, to walk in the dark, and why did you use what others illuminated it to move forward? That was efforts of others. So when the torch or candle burns, it shines light around it, it decays and its components flow through the pen and docked on the book, immortalizing what can embody another candle that continues to illuminate. This book is the traces of what human being predecessors have left behind. From the moment of your birth as a child and what you will read later from the books and daily observations and resort to the application to run your life, it is the experiences of others who embodied. And therefore you have become condemned to embody your experiences on the same book to benefit those who come after you if it will be interest to them. In that this book is the history of cosmic and human experience, and so on. The life is taking and giving. With this taking and giving, the historical experience of mankind is embodied in all the fields that you will use during your progress in field of life through receiving, teaching, carrying out. Conclusion. Research and observation to be aware of universe around you, and then add to what you have obtained according to your abilities after choosing what suits and complies with your life requirements. And by adding your own efforts, this is a new addition to the human experience, so adding to the outcome of human experience is important. They need to leave a book based on those who come after you, so that the human passes from this presence without adding something new, that is the defect, and decreases in humanity. 4. The fourth element, in the Unicom-Creed anthropomorphic, is the blue-collar book, which implies the space and water symbol of life. It embodies the history of cosmic and human experience and knowledge that which you found it embodied and you used to organize and run your life. And then you added to it your experience to benefit those who will come after you, the tools and skills of those incarnations represented by the pen, foresight, perception, research, thinking and observations about and towards cosmic phenomena and the unknown horizons that the telescope embodies. 5. The telescope is the fifth element of Unicom-Creed anthropomorphic and expresses the distance of horizon and the absolute freedom of research as far as human insight can reach. So, when someone presents you with an embodiment of Unicom-Creed anthropomorphic, as if when someone hands over you tools of work for a certain profession or task and you have to prepare for production or complete the mission, and as long as the mission of humanity is an endless process that does not stop working on it, then it is of shame to throw the tools of humanity mission away till delivers it to someone when you will stop life activities. Thus, we have explained the symbolic and anthropomorphic of Unicom-Creed, and there remains the details of letter G for the generation, which consists of 16 knots for each knot, its concepts which embody it, and means an educational program that develops from one knot to another during the taking stages until it reaches the stage of enlightenment in the giving stage. Till here we finish today's lecture, and even we meet in another lecture. We wish you happy times. December 3rd, 2019.